was a curse, wasn't it? He died because I loved him so much.
26 years ago, two sisters cast a spell that Hollywood couldn't break. Until now. Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman are officially returning to practical magic, but here's what Warner Brothers doesn't want you to know. This almost didn't happen 3 times. I'm JD, and the story behind this sequel, it's messier than any love spell gone wrong. Let's go back to October 1998. Practical magic hits theaters. Warner Brothers expects a modest Halloween release, nothing major. It bombs. $35 million budget, barely made that back domestically. Critics, they hated it. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 47%. But here's where it gets interesting. Something happened after it left theaters. Women started buying the VHS tape, then the DVD, then streaming it every October. It became a cult classic, the kind of movie HBO played on repeat, the kind daughters watched with their mothers. Warner Brothers noticed, and by 2010, they started asking questions. Could there be a sequel? The answer was always the same, no. Because Sandra and Nicole, they had conditions, big ones, and for 16 years, the studio wouldn't meet them. Until 3 months ago, when everything changed. Attempt number 1, 2012. Warner Brothers wants a sequel. The DVD sales are insane. They approach Sandra and Nicole separately. Here's the problem. The original screenwriter, Akiva Goldsman, he's not interested. The original director, Griffin Dunn, also out. Sandra's response is clear. If Akiva and Griffin aren't involved, she's not involved. Nicole agrees. Warner Brothers backs off, but they don't give up. Fast forward to 2018, attempt number 2. This time, Warner Brothers gets creative. They hire Alice Hoffman, the author of the original novel.
Please, since when is being a slut a crime in this film?
Alice writes a sequel book, specifically for the movie. It's called The Book of Magic, published in 2021. Warner Brothers thinks they have leverage now. Original author, new material, perfect setup. They approach Sandra again. She says no. Again. Why? Because Warner Brothers wanted to lowball the budget, $25 million, for a franchise with a massive cult following. Sandra wanted $50 million minimum, creative control, producer credit. The studio walked away. Which brings us to attempt number 3, 2023. This is where it gets messy. Warner Brothers goes around Sandra. They start developing a practical magic prequel series for Max, their streaming service. No Sally, no Jillian, just the aunts, Stalker Channing and Diane Weiss characters. Sandra finds out. She's furious. Because buried in her original contract, there's a clause. Any practical magic project requires her approval. Warner Brothers didn't ask. Sandra's lawyer sends a letter. Production halts immediately. And suddenly, the studio is willing to negotiate, for real this time. June 2024. Sandra and Nicole meet in person. First time in 6 years. Not for a reunion, for strategy. They both know Warner Brothers is desperate now. The prequel disaster proved the studio can't do practical magic without them. So they make a pact. They'll return, together, as executive producers, equal pay, equal creative control. And one more thing, they want the aunts back, Stockard and Diane, full supporting roles, not cameos. Warner Brothers agrees to everything. Why? Because streaming is dying, theatrical releases are back, and nostalgia sells. September 2024, the deal closes. $75 million budget. Sandra and Nicole get $7 million each, plus back-end points. But here's the detail nobody's talking about.
We had a problem, we handled it.
There's a clause. If this movie makes less than $200 million worldwide, no Practical Magic 3. If it makes more than $300 million, they're locked in for 2 more films. Warner Brothers is betting big, because they have to. October 2024, the official announcement drops. Social media explodes. TikTok loses its mind. The original movie jumps to number 3 on Max's trending. And suddenly, Practical Magic isn't just a cult classic anymore. It's a franchise. Let's talk about who's coming back. Obviously, Sandra and Nicole, Sally and Jillian Owens, the heart of everything. But here's what's interesting. Sandra is 59 now, Nicole is 57. In the original, they were 34 and 31. Warner Brothers could have recast younger. They didn't. Why? Because the fans don't want younger. They want to see these characters as grown women, with adult daughters of their own. Speaking of daughters, The original movie had kids, Sally's daughters, Kylie and Antonia. They were played by Evan Rachel Wood and Alexandra Artrip. Evan is now 37. Alexandra stepped away from acting. Are they returning? Here's what we know. Evan posted on Instagram in November, quote, "Some magic never fades," with a photo from the original film. That's not confirmation, but it's not nothing. Warner Brothers hasn't announced the daughters yet, but sources say they're negotiating. Now, the aunts. Stockard Channing is 80, Diane Wiest is 76. Both are confirmed, both are thrilled. Stockard gave an interview last month. She said, quote, "I've been waiting 26 years for someone to ask." Diane said something similar. She called practical magic her favorite role. And here's the beautiful part. The script, it centers the aunts. They're not background characters this time.
Yeah, you're right. You're always right, Sally. Oh,
They're the ones teaching the next generation. Who's not returning? Aidan Quinn. He played Gary, the detective who fell for Sally. He's not coming back. The character died in Alice Hoffman's sequel novel. So Warner Brothers is writing around it, which means there might be a new love interest. The internet has opinions about this. And finally, the director. Griffin Dunn said no, again. So who's directing? This is where it gets good. Warner Brothers hired Nia DaCosta, director of The Marvels, Candyman, a Black woman directing a story about white witches in Massachusetts. The choice is intentional. Nia specializes in legacy franchises. She understands nostalgia, but she also brings fresh perspective. Early reports say she's expanding the magical world. More covens, more diverse witches. The Owens family isn't the only magical bloodline anymore. This is practical magic for 2026, not 1998. So what does all this mean? First, this isn't just a sequel. It's a test. Warner Brothers is watching every metric: social media engagement, pre-sale interest, fan reaction. Because if Practical Magic 2 works, they're greenlit for a cinematic universe. Think about it. The Owens family has centuries of history. Alice Hoffman wrote 4 books. There's a prequel, a sequel, side stories. Warner Brothers could build 10 years of content, but only if this movie hits that 300 million mark. Second, the stakes are personal for Sandra and Nicole. Sandra hasn't done a franchise in years. She walked away from blockbusters after Gravity. This is her comeback, on her terms. Nicole is coming off Big Little Lies and The Undoing. She's in her prestige era.
Yeah, right here. I'm gonna place it when you go down.
please slap her.
You couldn't pick.
For her to return to practical magic, that's a statement. She's saying, this movie mattered. This story matters. Third, the cultural moment. 26 years ago, practical magic was about women supporting women, sisterhood, female power. In 2026, that hits different. Post-Me Too, post-pandemic, in an era where women are redefining power. This movie isn't just nostalgia, it's timely, and Warner Brothers knows it. But here's the risk. The original failed because it tried to be too many things: romance, horror, comedy, drama. Can the sequel nail the tone this time? Nia DaCosta has to balance fan service with fresh storytelling. She has to honor the original while justifying why the sequel exists. That's a tightrope walk. Early script leaks suggest she's going darker, more witchcraft, less rom-com. The question is, will fans accept that? We'll find out, because production starts in April 2025. Location? Same Massachusetts town, same iconic house. Warner Brothers is rebuilding the set, exact replica, but bigger. Release date? October 2026. Perfect Halloween counter-programming. One more thing. There's a rumor, unconfirmed but persistent, that Sandra and Nicole fought for something specific in the contract. A percentage of streaming revenue, not just box office. If true, that's a game changer. Because it means they understand the real money isn't opening weekend anymore. It's the long tail, the rewatches, the next generation discovering it on Max. They're not just making a sequel, they're building a legacy. Here's what's happening next. April 2025, cameras roll. Massachusetts, the same town where they filmed the original. Warner Brothers bought the actual house, the one from the movie. They're renovating it, restoring it, making it the central location again. Fans are already planning pilgrimages.
I hate it here. I want to go where no one's even heard of us.
Casting for the daughters closes in February. Warner Brothers is seeing hundreds of actresses. They want unknown names, not Disney Channel stars. They want real chemistry with Sandra and Nicole. The script is locked. Final draft finished in December. Alice Hoffman consulted. Sandra and Nicole gave notes. One source called it the sequel the original movie should have been. Bold claim. And here's what I'll be tracking. First look photos. They'll drop this spring. Costume reveals, because the fashion in this franchise, iconic. Behind the scenes drama. There's always drama. And most importantly, whether they can actually pull this off. Because after 26 years, the expectations are massive. This isn't just a sequel. It's the sequel that almost never happened. 3 studios rejected it. Sandra said no 4 times. Nicole walked away twice. But now, it's real. Practical Magic 2, October 2026. The question isn't whether you'll watch it. The question is, can it possibly live up to 26 years of waiting? This is just part 1. Over the next few months, I'm covering every leak, every casting announcement, every behind-the-scenes detail. Part 2 drops when they reveal the daughters. Part 3, set photos and costume breakdowns, because you know I'm doing a full fashion deep dive. Part 4 is the trailer analysis, frame by frame. And Part 5, that's the review. But I need to know, are you team this will be amazing, or team they should have left it alone? Drop a comment, I read every single one. And if you want to stay updated on every Practical Magic 2 development, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, because this franchise, it's about to cast a spell on a whole new generation. I'm JD, and remember, some magic is worth the wait.
My character actually isn't a very good witch. She doesn't have a lot of talent. So she's always saying to her sister, God, you're so lucky, what I would do if I had that talent.